wall, sister. Noted that the time was 9:21. No one know that I was crying. Give it time went to school. Told my homies I was fine, but my insides burned. No one noticed I was dying.
And so my peeps went dumb, with a perk, with an X, with an insecure girl we can hurt. It's with a weed, with a rush, and escape from the numb that we all keep feeling when the day's all dumb, when the rays of the sun don't shine on our skin. Where we can hide in our lies, take a dive in our sins. I think the rays of the sun don't shine on my skin. So I'ma hide in my lies, take a dive in my sins. My mother is a soldier who veteraned week after week in the trenches. My dad's a weapon against my panicked expression. Wonder if I'm like him, a question that crossed my conscience pretty often, I'm guessing. Prayer ain't cause he ate off of my mother's depression. 100-hour weeks without a second to rest. My life's a blessing that's been given by a hard day's work. Another question, let me ask you what your hard day's worth. A child's smile, the dollar spent on dinner let the heartaches hurt. So let me ask you what your hard day's worth. Said let me ask you what your hard day's worth. Is it money? Is it lust, greed, and envy? Is it every evil under the sun? Is it trending? Would you listen if my mission wasn't drifting up empty? Would you listen? Doubt it. Is it love? Is it hate? A familial embrace? An escape from that pain-stilled state we all create? Is it space? Is it pause? Is it a place you can pause? Rest your pause, not often leave your day. Is it faith? Is it God? Be it Jesus or Allah? Is it worth your stress and hard work throughout the day? These are questions that I got. I'm just another product of the age of hip-hop, where the money don't come, and the drugs don't stop, and the fathers don't talk, and the mothers all rocks, and the world keeps spinning, and we pray don't stop. And I'm screaming up to God for a little bit of love, at least a break from my moms, and escape from the rush. But the 100-hour weeks make her feet go numb, and the world keeps spinning, and the sleep don't come, and my peeps go dumb, with a perk, with an X, with an insecure girl we can hurt. With a weed, with a rush, and escape from the numb that we all keep feeling when the day's all dumb, when the rays of the sun don't shine on our skin, where we can hide in our lies, take a dive in our sun. I say I'm fine with a grin while I'm thinking about my pops, how he died at 13 while my mom and I watched the clock on the wall, sister. Noted that the time was 9:21. No one know that I was crying. Give it time went to school. Told my homies I was fine, but my insides burned. No one noticed I was dying. And so my peeps went dumb, with a perk, with an X, with an insecure girl we can hurt. It's with a weed, with a rush, and escape from the numb that we all keep feeling when the day's all dumb, when the rays of the sun don't shine on our skin. Where we can hide in our lies, take a dive in our sins. I think the rays of the sun don't shine on my skin. So I'ma hide in my lies, take a dive in my sins. My mother is a soldier who veteraned week after week in the trenches. My dad's a weapon against my panicked expression. Wonder if I'm like him, a question that crossed my conscience pretty often, I'm guessing. Prayer ain't cause he ate off of my mother's depression. 100-hour weeks without a second to rest. My life's a blessing that's been given by a hard day's work. Another question, let me ask you what your hard day's worth. A child's smile, that dollar spent on dinner let the heartaches hurt. So let me ask you what your hard day's worth. Said let me ask you what your hard day's worth. Is it money? Is it lust, greed, and envy? Is it every evil under the sun? Is it trending? Would you listen if my mission wasn't drifting up Benzie? Would you listen? Doubt it. Is it love? Is it hate? A familial embrace? An escape from that pain-stilled state we all create? Is it space? Is it pause? Is it a place you could pause? Rest your pause, not often leave your day. Is it faith? Is it God? Be it Jesus or Allah? Is it worth your stress and hard work throughout the day? These just questions that I got. I'm just another product of the age of hip-hop, where the money don't come, and the drugs don't stop, and the fathers don't talk, and the mothers all rocks, and the world keeps spinning, and we pray don't stop. And I'm screaming up to God for a little bit of love, please, to break from my moms and escape from the rush. But the 100-hour weeks make her feet go numb, and the world keeps spinning and the sleep don't come. And my peeps go dumb, with a perk, with an X, with an insecure girl we can hurt. With a weed, with a rush, and escape from the numb that we all keep feeling when the day's all done. When the rays of the sun don't shine on our skin, where we can hide in our lies, take a dive in our sun. I say I'm fine with a grin while I'm thinking about my pops, how he died at 13 while my mom and I watched the clock on the wall. Sister noted that the time was 9:21. No one know that I was crying. Gave it time with the school. Told my homies I was fine, but my insides burned. No one noticed I was dying. And so my peeps went dumb, with a perk, with an X, with an insecure girl we can hurt.
All right, there we go. All right. I've done that before. I've buzzed a stream beginning and then didn't get audio connected, and it sounded like some whack job doing miming. So, all right. So, as you can see from the thumbnail, that's kind of what's on my mind. There's some other things. I got a bunch of other things I want to show you guys. I want to show you that stuff right there. There's a couple of things in that image to help you. Just to, because people keep asking me about props for the Neo 2. And these are aftermarket props right there. But so are those. And a lot of people are I think they don't understand that those props right there, those are the Master Air Screw stealth props. They fit on that drone. So somebody was asking me about screw pattern and this and that. But anyways, the ones on the package there are actually marketed for, those are 4-bladed props. I haven't seen that. There are 5-bladed props. The gem fans are supposed to fit on there. And yes, they will change the sound of it. Somebody asked me about, why haven't you shaved down the original equipment props and tried those on the Neo 1? Well, that could happen. But the other thing I want to look at is this right here. And you can see that is, now that wasn't sent to me at all. I actually bought that. That is a variable ND filter for the Action 5, which I believe will create a much more consistent image out of that camera. The Action 5 is good, but in many respects, it's overexposed. In some instances, it's I think in too many instances, it gets overexposed. That will help you, allow you to do, and the reason why I picked the variable ND is because you can slightly adjust that and improve your exposure. The other thing that's cool about that is that it also will, here, let me just whip over here really quick. Excuse me while I whip this out. So a lot of people don't know that there's your original Action 5 Pro right there, that this right here also shares the same lens. So yes, you can put this variable ND on the, here, let me make this bigger here. You can also do the same thing. I mean, what's good for one, you should probably do for the other. So there it is right there. So there's that big old variable ND, but I love the fact that it's variable, that I can adjust the amount of light. Now I think it's 08 to 16. So it gives you that adjustment. That's the way it comes, like that. And I had to take this off, but I need to put it back on now, for the same reason. Let me just go ahead and take this off. That is a glass lens, by the way. I'm going to put this back on. This is because I had to take this off to get the lens off. And then you can see that this does not fit inside of the case here. So you have to take off for this camera, you have to take it out of the out of this wonderful heat dissipating shroud. So you take this heat dissipating shroud off right there. And of course you have to put the ND, the variable ND back on. And of course we have to put it in manual. And let's see if I can do a little, actually we should turn it around this way. Right there. So I'm just so you can, actually I should have it the other direction, right? It should be like that. That should be like this. And yeah, so I can see the, yeah, so you can see what's going on in there. All right. So we get that there. Go ahead and turn it on. So right there, you can see the ND working. Now it's here. Let's get, yeah, we'll get it back in. Right there, and you can see it. There's wide open, and then that's at the close, the max close, and then that's open right there. So let me see if I can go ahead and put it in manual. It's in pro. Let's see, normal exposure. We can go to 100 to 2. So we want to put it in a variable exposure right there, but we're going to switch it to right there. We'll get the EV to 0. There we go. Let's go right there. Hit auto. Let's see. Come on here. Turn that off. So now we have the ability to adjust our. You see the EV number down there going to negative. All right, it's at -3. Anyway, I need to get it in full manual. So right, I'm having trouble seeing right now. So. Anyway, this is a very nice addition to the to both these cameras. Now, this more likely you want to use this with the Pro camera. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see. Let's get exposure. We want to get it to manual. Yeah, there we go. Manual exposure. There we go. And then 100 to 1200. There we go. Oh, now if we want to. I wish I could show it right, like looking straight into a light. It'll be hard. It'll be hard to demo it, but you guys get the point. Now I can adjust my frame rate back down to 1/60th. 1/60th because I go 4K 30. So we have a really nice exposure going right there. But I can take this puppy outside now and I can do those minute adjustments. And then if I do any motion images, you know, say I'm vlogging and stuff and I've got the background going by, I'll get some normal blur. But my big problem is I'm constantly sitting in an overexposed environment, and I needed this. So this was $30, and this was worth every cent of $30. So I'm going to make sure this is with me all the time. So anyway, that is with the Nano. And I don't know, I hope it doesn't overheat. That's the only problem with the Nano is, you know, we could be getting some overheating. You can get that right there. We got -1 EV. It should adjust now. We should be able to, yeah, right there. See that? So we get about 3 stops right there, and then we see that adjusting right there, depending on the lighting. So anyway, that's a nice. I think, especially if you live in a place like me, if you do not have an ND filter. And like I said, a variable, they do make a variable CPL, but this one is just going to really improve things. I'm so sick of not having the dark colors. My old GoPro, like if I go back to my old GoPro 6, I used to get just beautiful colors because I always kept a UV filter on it. And this, is a step up from a UV filter. It gives me a little power over that. I probably could just live with a UV filter, but so anyway, I just wanted you to see that. Now this one I run and gun with, so I got to but you can buy these filters here. My dog's freaking out because the package delivery is here right now. Hopefully his treat showed up. But yeah, so this does not fit without it being off on this. So I got to put it back on and get the cover back on. So there, now we got our regular lens cover. Now I could put a UV. Now you can actually buy the UV cover for this. I could keep that on. Actually, that's what I should have as well. I should probably get a UV cover that's always on it. But yeah, so that does not fit with this. So you have to know that. But there it is. So, and you can't get that off unless you take that shroud off. But yeah, I need to get that UV filter that's on there all the time because that's literally my biggest struggle. But with the Action 5, there's the same thing with the Action 5 lens cover. We can now go and make the same adjustment. And go like that. I don't have the case on right now. And then I'll go ahead and turn this on, put it in manual. I actually had this up for sale. I was going to sell it, and the price has dropped so dramatically for this camera. I'm almost to the point where I'm not even going to sell it. I'll just keep it. It makes no sense to. I just launched the video. Here, let's turn that off. We don't want to record anything. Let's go there. Right, here we go. Let's do that, and right, we're not. Okay. So anyways, you can see. Then let's make the adjustment here. Let's go back. We can go to get it. Oh, we're in Pro. Let's go to exposure, not auto. We're going to go to, let's see, 1280, confirm. And we'll make sure we're in manual, confirm. And let's see. And we also got to make sure we change let's see, Pro. Let's go to its exposure. Let's make sure we're manual, and then 1/60th. That says 3200. Let's see here. We can go to 1280. Confirm. Anyway, we're indoors, so once again, you can see how we can cut it way down. We'll so we have that. I think we have 8 stops. So anyway, this is going to be a nice addition. So very happy with that. And I use this camera enough, and I use my pocket as enough. I really need one for the pocket, but I do have a filter for that one. So let's go right there. There's our video. Let's go right there. Let's go, and then hit that, and then erase those, delete. All right, anyway, confirm. So anyway. All right. I keep forgetting where the power button is on this puppy. There. So, yeah. So variable ND for the Action 5 and the Nano. I think that's just, especially if, like I said, if you're in any environment where, it's winter even, right now it's winter time. Some of you guys are in the snow, and talk about even more glare. Holy crap, the snow is even worse when it comes to glare. But this one, I don't have a a link to this one yet. I'll probably post a link to it since I did show you it. But that's how it comes right there. And the box and the brand. Like I said, $30. It's probably one of the better $30 you're ever going to spend. So, and it is glass. So professional optical filter. Come on here. There we go. And it works from the 3 through the 5 and the Nano. So it works on all those cameras. And it will go into my camera bag. Anytime if I'm going to go out, it probably won't even go in my bag. It'll probably go pretty much right on the camera. Right. Right. Let's get over to the issue at hand. And that issue is this thing. And I'm not going to go too long today. And I have been very like inspired by this drone. I really have. So let's look at it from the reality. Okay. And I do not hate this setup. I don't. And I am looking for a million reasons to own it, to buy it. I literally saved for this thing. I am ready to go. I have cash in hand. I want to go to Best Buy and just pick it up and fly it and show you guys. But my problem is this. My problem is that it's flawed, and we know it's flawed. Every single review of it shows its weakness. And I know with being a really an image conscious person, I am very image conscious. I'm not mine, but the image, that image. And I just can't fathom owning a drone that has that big of a problem in 2025 going into 2026. And the 360 cameras have been perfected and there's really great image quality. And this one, the image quality is really, really lame. It is just so bad. And every single person, I'm not talking about low light. I'm not worried about low light quality. I'm just looking about regular light quality. I'm sick of looking at images and people's uploads that show so much just really just blurry footage. It's this, I mean, the dead center of the image is just so bad. And I want to do a review of it, but I mean, I should be at least being able to get, crappy 4K out of that thing. And, what am I reviewing then? If I can't go, hey, look at this amazing footage. Now I'm seeing some really great shots, but all of them are little snippets of about 3 seconds to 5 seconds. And it's just so little of, I'm not talking about doing a complete video of that, but say you do, say you're flying and, you're trying to get, and I had a bunch of national park footage on my intro. So when I showed you my intro, and let's see if I can put it up here. Let me post up my intro. And so what you guys were looking at. So I'm basically showing you this stuff right here, this national park footage, this stuff that, that's kind of what it looks like when you're in the drone. I mean, it literally looks, it should be like this. Okay. So if I'm looking at that image and, I'm being honest, I'm, being honest with my adjustments, I mean, this stuff should be this sharp, and not completely sharp, but I'm seeing, so at least that, okay. So that's 0. What I'm seeing is something like this. I'm seeing like a 2 in blur in the center of the image. So when you're looking at it and, you'll see the clouds and you'll see that separation, but what starts to happen, especially towards the center of the image, is you start to see that. Okay, you start to see this blurring of the line. So right there is what it should be, and then you start to see that. And it's not that bad. That's not true. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's unacceptable amounts of okay. Now, not from the first run. Yeah, so not from a first run. Hey, Howie, how you doing? I'm glad you popped in here. From a first run, I expect it to have some issues, okay, to not be, but we are well past. I just think this is what I think happened. I think they separated the cameras too much. I think when they had to separate it to get it past the props, this is the problem with the design. And this is why the Avata 360 is going to be better. Because to separate the image on the Avata, it's a much skinnier platform, and they don't have to do as much pixel peeping to get those two images to come together. And then you're looking through the stitch lines because the camera's here and the camera's below. So if I'm going to fly this thing in the place that I live, I'm going to live in this place here and I'm going to see images that are blurry like that. I don't know. That's, I don't want that. That's not cool. And if I'm going to throw 2K out, $2,000, I better at least have a half decent image. Every single person that looks at the footage is going, hey, I can see pixels when it's a little bit low. And then I don't see a clear image. It doesn't have to be perfectly in focus, but the center of the image needs to be in focus. I just don't. Yeah, I think that the system is somewhat flawed. Maybe they need a third image. Kind of like. Because the front facing, okay, you understand that the two halves of the camera are facing forward or like this. So you're always looking into the stitch line. So the stitch line is coming together and they have to take that image and bring it together and then put this in focus. They have to figure that out and digitally bring these two sides together like this. So basically you have these two halves. They come towards the aircraft, past the props, and then they come together and then they're stitched just like that. And I cannot, what am I gaining? I guess I'm showing the technology, but I think, all right, if you want reviewers like me that have to actually put out money for this thing, I can see a person that's not paying for the drone saying good things about it and being the reviewer. And that's why they did so many reviews like that. And, people are finding good pieces of images. They're mostly the bottom images or the top sides of images that are in good shape because they're more in focus inside of that lens. But when you take the lenses, okay, and you hear me, coming back here again, if you take these two lenses that are stacked like this, and then you've got this big fat body, and then you got the props out here. The reason why the DJI drone is going to have a better image is, I'll just show you right here. The aircraft is going to be this skinny, and the image and the two lenses are going to be right here. We're looking at lenses here versus lenses here. That is exactly the best way to describe it. So when the Avata 360 comes, it is going to be this. The lenses are going to be right about like that. So I can go get my Avata out right now and demo that. Hold on here. Let me show you that really quick. Let me just get a real Avata out. All right. So here's the king of the FPV skies for DJI right here. Okay, this is the king right there. All right, now if you've seen images of the Avata, let's actually look at it right now. And I am picking on Insta360 because I love Insta360. Don't get me wrong. I have an Insta360 camera right there. I've got an Insta360 camera over here. I'm not spending $2,000 on something that has that crappy of an image. I think the people that built the drone the design is flawed. The cameras are too far apart, and it's too hard to get those two images to not be to not be messed up. Okay, all right, here, hold on here. We got let's go. All right, okay. Here, let me get. I have to get the. My computer freaking timed out. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm prepared for this right here. All right, so this is the concept of the Avata 360. Notice what they did to the body. You remember the big frame that used to hang below it? They got rid of the big frame to bring those two cameras. The closer they get the top and bottom camera together, the better the image is going to be. Hey, Johnny Drone Flyer, how you doing? Okay. So the closer we get those two cameras together, the better the image is, the better the image quality. And basically what they did was they took the Avata, the Neo 2 width of the frame, it's probably about the same width, maybe a teeny bit fatter than this, and they brought those cameras together, and you are going to get a much crispier image out of this drone. This is my expectation is that when we have this product with the above and below camera with the better battery, we are going to get, this thing weighs, this is no freaking, light bird, but we're going to have a 4S platform with a camera system that is going to be much more capable of giving clear images. But you see this bottom superstructure right there, right? Take note once again. Look at the new image of the Avata 2. Now you see that? And let me just make me bigger here. And that's what they're doing right there. So they got rid of the superstructure down here, and they made it. They basically did a unibody. And they brought the cameras. Look at how much is hanging down. I bet you there's about almost a half an inch or more of a frame that is right there. So that is why the Avata 360 is going to be better. That is why the Avata 360 might absolutely kill this concept, this anti-gravity concept. I think they made a mistake. And I think, when you've got a camera company who can make a great camera, they're forced to make this image better. Do I think Insta360 can make their image better? Yeah. But you're not going to see this big chubby Avata 2. It's going to be a much lighter. Now this is a uniframe too. Pretty thick, pretty beefy frame, but they're going to bring everything together, and it's going to be more of the. Here, let me get a battery out of here. It's going to be more of a much thinner. It's going to be a much thinner concept. Little, but it's going to be thicker than this one. This one is going to be probably. They'll probably add another. Those are probably 3.5 inch props, where these are 2. So we're going to be looking at 3.5 inches versus 2, probably the same props as these. My guess is they're going to use the same prop design for the Avata 360. And for you to get 2K out of my pocket to buy this thing, you better freaking get the image right. I am not going to send this thing out over my beautiful landscape to look at garbage. And I've seen, I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see that kind of blurry. It's not terrible. The image is not absolutely disastrous. It's just not good enough for $2,000. It's not. It is not a $2,000 concept. Not yet. I mean, if they would have put that thing out for $1,500 for the Fly More kit, they would have sold more of them. I'm not in at five. And then they give you the freaking crap batteries. I was going to say shit batteries. I should just said it. They're going to give you the freaking the less than robust battery. So I'm going to be able to fly that thing for 8 minutes. Just like I did with, I can fly the Avata or the Neo 2, out for 8 minutes. I can get 8 minutes out of this, and at least half inch, and all of my footage will be in focus. Okay. And will be much more enjoyable. I can do a split shot of going towards something and then going away and just zip them together. But that's, anyway, I'm just saying that that anti-gravity could have reduced their prices. Their price does not reflect what you get. And image quality, and as far as having the goggles and the controller, and everybody that is reviewing this is saying the same thing. We don't like the pistol grip controller. We do not like that. Everybody says that. Anybody who flies says that. And you can't separate the flyers with the truth. The truth is it costs too much and nobody likes that controller. Now I can fly with that controller. I know I could. I actually wanted to demo it, that I knew exactly what I wanted to do with that controller. And I would have first of all, I would not fly it in the, what they call the beginner mode, because the beginner mode is not easier. The better mode is the FPV mode, where it's just the controller. 90% of everybody that will fly with that will get a better experience in the controller mode versus the FPV mode, or in the FPV mode. And I forget what they call the other mode. But there's some cool things about it. There's really good software. There's really good software ideas in this thing. The drone is good. It's just, the image is not good. And I think if you're going to sell something that's going to be an image type drone, if you're going to sell the image, then the image's got to be half decent. It can't be what it is. It just can't. I know they tried. But you also can't sell you've got to give people flight time, especially if you're going to buy the drone with one battery. Give them the plus battery option. At least put it in the freaking click thing. Click with plus or not. I know that they can't package it that way. I don't know what it would take somebody but the problem was they packaged the cheaper version with the low mAh batteries. And anyway, I'm just very disappointed with that so far. I'm disappointed because I can't fly it, and I can't honestly go get one and pay $2,000 for something that the image is not going to be good. And I can tell you guys that it's good. I don't even so you love I love bacon. Great. I love you just for showing up. If you're a human being and you're male, you love bacon just because you're male. So all you've done is you've told us that yes, it seemed timely. Oh boy. Oh. Anyway, I think I'm done with my rant for today. Okay, things that I like about that, I think their software is cool. I think they spent a good amount of time, a fair amount of time making the goggles good. I'm not gonna pick on the fitment, because every single goggle company, when they first put out goggles, has trouble with the fitment. I think it's really important they put the diopters in, which makes the goggles really valuable. And I understand they put an X5 in there, and I know you've got the cost in there, but the functionality of all of those parts together do not add up to $2,000. It does not. You got to get those in the hands of people. That is a starter image at best. It is a starter drone. And when you guys put out that, and DJI puts their Avata 360 out, let me just tell you something. The Avata 360 is going to have a better image, and you guys you guys are going to get creamed because of that. If I can get an Avata 360 in my hand, and that image looks any way decent, you will be absolutely destroyed, because it's got everything people want. It's got the controller that they want. It's got the goggles that they already know. And it's going to have a camera system that's going to have a decent image. And that is going to be deadly, you know? Okay. I don't have to get one. Believe me, I got the money to get that. I can buy that thing. I can buy it right now. I can get online and order. I don't want to waste my money on something that is a first generation toy and that doesn't give you decent. I live in a place that's absolutely picturesque, and I'm not going to waste my flight time on that. I do want real perspective and real thoughts on it. And I'll actually give you my thoughts on I think the flight experience is going to be good, to be quite honest. But it's only going to be good in the FPV mode, where your controller is basically going to be limited in where, because when I've flown with the DJI joystick controller, I can completely control it. I understand how it works. And that one, just from some of the videos I've watched, I understand how that works. I think it's good. I just think some things that they did in there are just making the flight experience. It's tough enough to be a first-time pilot. You have to take all the variables out. Almost everybody grows up with a two-handed controller in their hands. That gives you a 99% chance a person's going to be successful flying it if you give them a controller where they're using both their hands. By taking that away, you are creating a first-time experience for just about anybody that grabs that thing. And what you're saying is, we're going to train you to love this controller. And DJI already did that. And they still package that thing. And the first thing DJI flyers or anybody that's a pilot does is they get rid of that thing and they go to the regular controller, because it's more familiar. And if I worked for those guys, I would say, you guys better have plan B really quickly ready to go. And you better, or a firmware update that's going to correct the problems of the focus. Remember, DJI put out the Action 3 focus issue. People didn't buy it, returned them. And then the Action 4, they put out a lens kit, and, because of where people are using. If you're going to vlog with that camera, you need to have close focusing. That thing is going to be flown with for landscape. So why can't it be focused in for landscape? It has to have a focusing distance of some kind, and it's not. So it's 56 minutes into my rant. That is my feelings about this. This drone here is going to be a hit because it's made better. It is going to have its focus distance in a way where you're going to get much better camera results. Even if DJI doesn't make the best 360 camera right now, that thing is going to have better quality images than the one that you're going to pay $2,000 for. That is not going to be $2,000. They are going to kill them in price. The only thing that they got that the Insta360's got going for them is the DJI ban, and that thing made it through the FCC. That will get bought by people like me, and I'm going to pay too much for it because I'm going to pay tariffs on it, and maybe and it's designed right. It's designed based upon fixing the width of this, bringing the width down, putting a 360 camera in the front, taking this camera off, making it a bigger platform, making it light, putting a more robust battery system in it, changing the props out, making it quieter. DJI is doing all that stuff. All right, last thing I got for today. So we're out of that. So let's go to the desk cam really quick and let's look at the props. All right. So we were talking about props a second ago. Let's keep this idea kind of with us here. All righty. Okay, so these are the props right here that is the aftermarket props that I found. So let's look at these really quick. Now, will these props here fit on that drone? Absolutely, they will. Let's put one next to it. So this is the Neo 2. Here is a prop right here. I got screws in there, you can see. Here, let me get one that doesn't have I think all of them have screws in, do they? Yeah, this one doesn't. That's the wrong one, but anyway, can you see the size right there? Okay. Now it can be definitely a little bit bigger, so probably there is space. Will it fly with those? Yeah, it will. Okay, let me show you the props that I bought. These are actually made to fit the Neo 2. So these are not. These are made for the original Neo. Let me just push those aside. And these are the props made for the Neo 2. Let's look at their size and put them down next to the Neo 1 props. So here is a Neo 1 prop, and here is a Neo. So there they are. There's a 4-bladed prop. Put those down next to one another right there. And as you can see, those the light colored ones were designed to put on the Neo 2. So if you look at let's use the lines on the mat. For some perspective right there, and you can see that the smaller the translucent props are a little longer, so they're going to have a little bit more blade against air, and there's 4, and they have the advantage of 4 blades. So let's put one over here. Now you can see kind of how they're going to fit in there. Is there space? Yeah, it looks like there's plenty of space there. So we're gonna put those props on. I really don't I don't foresee I do foresee a little bit of an advantage, but I don't know, man. The props on the I think the biggest flight issue with the Neo 2. Let's push all this aside. Get all this noise out of the way here. Put it in the center. I really see that the that the Neo 2 really is, yeah, the two-bladed prop, quieter, longer flight time. Yeah, a two-bladed prop is, I agree about lessening the that, yeah, on this you might be able to get that. The hobby, Howie, you know, the one of the things that I saw that probably will give us the best bang for our buck is, let's just look really quick at here. Is probably the best video is getting rid of these extra struts. You see these two struts in between each of the main. So if I just keep these main struts, people are snipping those out, and that's a substantial amount of weight. And if you look at the disruption, the air disruption that's caused by those struts. So we go right there. So just think if you got rid of the main struts and you kept the, you know, the thicker struts. So to me, that's probably the best video out right now as far as the Neo 2 is getting rid of those extra struts. So it's more like the original Neo. And you notice that? You also, if you look at the ring in there, you could actually cut that ring out. But that ring, I believe, offers a little bit of stability. I think there's some vibration that might be an issue with this. The same thing with this. It's eliminating maybe some motor vibration that those extra struts are creating. Even though they're protecting the prop, they're creating a vibration dampening. So anyway, we'll put those down there just to give you a side-by-side on that. But anyway, I think that's kind of our, our dilemma. If you look at the props on the original Neo, those are pretty decent sized props. Those are the 5-bladers. And the 5 blades are supposed to fit on the Neo 2. So, I don't know. I'm of the camp at this point in time. I don't even know. I know the Neo 2 will do a little experimenting with. Right now, I just want to fly it, and I don't want to mess too much with the way it's already set up. So, all right. Okay, it is now we've been on the stream for an hour. I think we've hit the topics that I've wanted to hit. Yeah, I do like the idea of a 2-bladed prop, by the way. So, all right. You've heard me give my rant about anti-gravity right now. I don't want to be a downer on it. I know we need anti-gravity. I know we need it. I know it's going to make things better. I wish they would have put more thought into the design of the drone. It's not about the way it looks. It's about the way the camera functions. And the people at Insta360 should have had more say in the design of the drone. They should have said this. They should have said, we need to have those lenses no farther apart than, and that should have been the discussion. And then the drone people should have said, all right, we have to design a drone but using the camera specs that we need to have. I don't think that conversation was had. I think that's a flaw in the what eventually happened to that concept there. And I've seen the drone. I mean, it's probably that wide, and I believe that the if you bring it together just say a couple of millimeters, the closer those cameras get, the better your image is going to be. So it's at least the least and then less amount of correction. The other thing is the angle of the lenses, So the angle, if their lenses are top and bottom like this, if you just bring the lenses, to that angle like this. So right now they're basically dealing with a pancake situation. But if you bring the lenses more so here's side by side, if you bring the lenses like this, now that 360 is going to come together a little sooner. So the center of the image would have been a little bit more, more in focus. To me, the center of the image is everything. If your center of the image is out, because I can crop out the outside, but I can't crop it from the inside. All right. The Neo 2 is fun. Howie, the Neo 2 gives you about 2 minutes more in flight time and a better camera. That's basically what I get. 2 more minutes of flight time and better camera. Right now in the winter, the flight time is not that good because it's just cold, and the batteries will struggle in the cold. They're small enough batteries, So. All right, guys. I know we didn't have a crowd today. It just might be the day. It's Friday. It's 4:40. It's maybe a little bit early. The sun is I can see that I got plenty of sun still out. But yeah, I'm going to mess around a little bit with the props. Maybe just fit them. Just try mess around with the fitment of the props. I'm reluctant to put new props on a pack. I really don't want to mess around with the airframe. I've been told that you can get as much as 2 more minutes out of your flight time by just clipping those extra struts. I don't know if that's worth it. I don't know. Give me a plus battery. Give me a hump. Give me a plus battery. Yeah. Okay. So I don't care about the aerodynamics. Make this hump bigger. Give me a plus. Make this a little bit heavier. Okay. All right. I got to fly 107 anyway, so doesn't matter. So, give it a hump. Give me a bigger battery. Just saying. Alrighty, I'm out of here. Thank you guys. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of info. I don't know where I'm going channel wise going into Christmas. I usually go when I can. If there is some information on 360, if the 360 comes, I'll be talking about it. I'll be flying it, definitely making videos on it. But I just don't know. I think right now it's the 12th. I don't know. Maybe we'll see something by possibly the 18th. That's kind of where I think that's kind of the last day that we might get something, but no more Blur. I don't want to see, we deserve better. We deserve better than this Blur right here. We deserve better than, we deserve that. We deserve that, especially people that fly in beautiful landscapes. I mean, that just sucks. We want to have the center of that image nice, and see those clouds up there, how crispy they are. We don't want them to be like that. Of course, we definitely don't want them to be like that. Clouds, the trees, you just look in that image, and if you're looking at the ocean or whatever, I just think we deserve a better image, and I think the Insta360 can produce it. They are the 360 kings, and I don't know what they're gonna do, because I can't get on the gravy train until the cost of that gets down. It is not a good thing. I do not want to encourage people to buy something I don't want to own. So I want to fly the system. I want to fly the goggles. I want to fly the controller. I want to fly the good batteries. I want to fly the drone with not blurry. So, the other stuff like flight path and all that, the bells and whistles, the electronics, the software, I'm totally impressed with it. I'm impressed with a lot of things about this. And you can't screw up the image. You can't give somebody everything and then take the most important thing and make it flawed. So, all right, guys, I am out of here. Have a great weekend. Dad random for, I don't know what, right now I am still out. The price is too high. Maybe get the lower end of the spectrum, get the $1,500 version down to $1,200 and put a decent battery with it. if I'm going to break this thing and have to deal with lenses that are, you know, that could get scratched and all this stuff, it is such a you know, yeah. I just, I don't know what to do, guys. I just, right now, it's just a no-go. And it has nothing to do with my ability to want to get that. I am not, at this price point, it is not something I'm going to be able to resell to somebody else later, because I've got to get my money out of this thing somehow. And I'll get interest in it, but not to recoup my investment at $2,000. No way. And I'm an investor. I invest in products, and that is not worth $2,000. Nope. Make me buy it. There's so much about it that I like and I want to try. Send me one, Insta. Send me one of those and I'll send it back. I don't want to own it because I just want to try it, you know, but I don't want to own it, test it, and then tell people I like it so I can, you know, make $100. It's not worth it. It's not nice. It's not fair. It's not true. So, all right, guys, if you have not, please like. If you have not, comment, please, on anything that I've said. I know most of the people are going to be watching this thing in the later stages of the video. Yeah, there's just a few things that I just can't do. And this one is going to be good. It makes sense to me. It makes sense that this image is going to be better than the images coming out of this. It's going to be that way, and it shouldn't be that way. Insta360 is the king. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Dead random. I'm out of here. Have a great Friday. Just not going to do it. Not going to do it. Later. Bye.